Yo, 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 what's going on, my fantastic family and friends? It is your boy, Mr. Dominique, aka the Scorpio King, baby, back at you with another episode of Dom's World from right up top, because you got your world and I got mine. Let's get to chopping it up this morning, family. Okay, I am going to be speaking to you from literally off top because I don't have one particular subject this morning. Sometimes when I come on here, I just speak from the heart. Like I say, always from right up top. And I have a few things on my mind. So it's not one of these messages where I feel like somebody needs to hear, something in particular this morning. So we in Gladiator School this morning because I got a couple things I want to just touch over that's been running through my mind. So we in Gladiator School, session 2. All right, family, you don't need everybody to be your friend, okay? I want you to understand that you don't even need friends. You don't need them. I want you to understand the word I'm using there is need. You don't need friends. We don't need friends. We all just want them. It's nice to have friends. It's great to have friends. I'm not going to underplay it. It's amazing to have a real friend. If you got one real friend, count your blessings. It's amazing to have a real friend. It's amazing to be able to have more than one. If you can really say you have some friends, count your blessings, man. That's a great thing. That's amazing. I'm blessed. In that area, I got real friends. Guys that I consider to be my brothers. Not just my friends, my brothers. Okay? So, count your blessings. I understand what it feels like. I know what it feels like to have friends. I could put an S on the end of that. I don't have just one friend. I got a circle, a small circle. The 4. That's why we call ourselves the Horsemen. Been friends since I've been a little kid. Since elementary school. And we're all adults with children of our own now. We're family. We're family men. We went through being young men together to becoming adult men together. We helped each other grow up. We watched each other grow up. You know what I mean? So I get why people want to have friends. When you see people who have friends, I get why people want to have friends. I also get why people want to have friends because the illusion that social media and TV gives you, using the word friend so loosely. On social media, they put the word friend next to somebody who can go to your page and just, check the box or hit the like button. Or accept your friend request. They throw the word around so loosely. It's not being used correctly, honestly, but it is what it is. That's not my point about the word friend in particular. We're not going to spend any time on that. But what I want you to get from this is that the word is thrown around so much that nobody holds any stock in it, for real. Nobody really looks at, I'm calling you my friend, but are you really my friend? Do you treat me like a friend? Do I treat you like a friend? Do we view each other as friends? What have you done in my life for me to call you my friend? What have I done for you in your life for me to call you, call me your friend? We don't call people associates like we should. I mean, who has time to go around and say, oh, that's my associate? So it's easier to just say that's my friend, and it's somebody who you just met at work, or my friend at work. You just met them, and you're saying they're your friend. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we rock. That's how we do things, right? But I want you to understand that, you don't need everybody to like you, and you don't need everybody to be your friend. What you need to do, if you want to use that word, need, what I would consider to be a necessity in the situation is, pardon me, you just need to be yourself. You just need to be yourself. That's it. The only necessity is just you being you. And guess what? I'm going to let you in on a secret. if you be yourself, if you be who you are, not pretend to be somebody else, because you are concerned about how to attract friends and how to find friends and make friends. If you just be you, the right person will gravitate towards you. Somebody who's just like you, somebody who's into the same stuff you into, y'all just gonna find yourself pulled towards each other. Whether it be at school, whether it be at work, whether it be in the Army, the Navy, whether it be in some kind of sports club, after school club, no matter where you at, be yourself, and you would just find yourself gravitated towards somebody who's just like you. Y'all gonna find yourselves meshing together. It takes very little effort to just connect with somebody if you're just being yourself. Now, some of you may be asking me, well, what if being myself is the very thing that keeps people away from me? Then you know what? You got to find peace with that, because maybe who you are right now, you put off a vibe that's standoffish, and it keeps people away from you. So maybe you need some healing to go through on the inside. Just maybe. It's just my opinion. Maybe it's something that you got to fix within you in order to put out a vibe that you are approachable, and put out the vibe where you can attract like-minded people to you. Maybe it's the way you dress. Maybe it's the way you talk. Maybe it's the way you look. Maybe it's the fact that you don't smile. These are things that people look at in order to figure out if they can approach you or not, to figure out if they have something in common with you or not. My concern has never been making friends. It's always been deciding who should I call a friend. That's just as much of a headache, because you get all these people to come in and out of your life and you think they're your friends and they're not. But you learn, okay? That's one thing I want to touch base on. Another thing I want to touch base on is having control over your emotions. I've spoken about it before, but I want to talk about it again. Having control over your emotions. And the person I'm going to use for an example, I think is a really good example right now, is Chris Rock. Chris Rock is an example of someone displaying control over his emotions. And why I chose him? Because as a man, as a full-grown man, and as a man who doesn't mind getting physical, like I said before, I can respect physicality, because I enjoy watching wrestling and UFC and boxing and things like that. So as a man, to see another grown man get smacked, not punched, but smacked, and then on live TV in front of the whole world, and put in a situation to where that smack will be there for the rest of his life. So to see him, as the days have gone by, and to really realize what took place in his situation, okay? I'm just speaking about his situation. He got smacked on live TV in front of the whole world for doing what he's always been doing, and for doing a mild version of what he's always been doing. And as a man, he took that smack. I say he's a great example of having control over his emotions, because fellas, if there's any guys watching this right now, how many of us could have responded the way that Chris Rock did? How many of us could have controlled our anger and our emotions and kept our hands to ourselves in that situation? I am a spiritual warrior. I am very far in my journey, mature in where I am right now. And I'm here to tell you, honestly and sincerely, I don't know if I could have restrained. Because if that smack would have happened to me, you better cut to a commercial break, because we would have been rumbling in the jungle. You know what I mean? Like, as a man, I think my natural reflex would have been to return with these hands. And I think any man feels that they would have done the same thing quite naturally. But in my mind, as a spiritual warrior, I would like to think that I could have responded the way Chris Rock did. Because actually, he responded the correct way. He had control over his emotions and his anger in that moment. In that moment, Do you understand that when he got smacked, the anger was right there? The enemy was working right there, what wanted him to respond. And the average man probably would have. I'm saying I probably would have responded. Chris Rock went out on stage the very next day to do a show after the Oscars and received a standing ovation. Took about 5 or 10 minutes before he could even talk because the audience showed so much admiration and respect towards him for how he handled himself as a professional and as a man up there on that stage with control over his emotions and anger. We looking at so much of the wrong thing. We need to look at that right there in particular. That particular thing right there, Chris Rock, you had control over your emotions and your anger. And because you have that control, your stock has risen. He took the smack. And his stock has risen because of it. Chris Rock will be able to do the Oscars again next year and the year after that and the year after that. He'll probably do even more shows now. Do you understand that every comedic show that he do from here on out, people will show up and sell out just to hear what he has to say about that incident? And he'll probably receive a standing ovation at every show. He's respected even more now. I respect him even more now, because he showed me what it's like to really have control over your emotions and your anger, because I don't know if I could have done that. So for me, that was admirable. I respect that, sir. You took that as a man, and because of it, your stock has risen. You were a professional. In that heated moment, you kept your composure. You showed to me spiritual growth and maturity, because any other man would have responded, and I don't think any other man would have been upset with you if you would have responded. But think about this, family. If Chris Rock would have fought him, and him and Will Smith would have got the rumbling and all over that stage, and they would have had to cut to a commercial break, we'd be talking about two men who ruined their career. We'd be talking about two men who are being banned from the Oscars now instead of one. We'd be talking about two people who ruined their career and lost everything instead of one. You know what I mean? So because he controlled his emotions, had control of himself, and the enemy did not get control of him, he's moving forward. Something that was meant for bad has now turned out to be good for him. In closing, I'm going to take one more thing. I'm going to give you one more thing that I took from that night. Will Smith said that Denzel Washington said to him, "The devil will come for you in your highest moment, at your highest moment." I never forget that Will Smith said, with tears in his eyes, that Denzel said to him, "The devil will come for you at your highest moment." He was there to receive an Oscar for the role that he played in King Richard's, which was a phenomenal movie. And he deserved that Oscar for the role he played in that movie. But it's overshadowed by the fact that he let the devil come for him and get control of him in that moment. And Smith didn't have control over his emotions, because he could have dealt with Chris Rock in private, backstage, not at that moment. You know what I mean? It could have been dealt with differently. It could have been dealt with, but just differently. But because he didn't have control over his emotions, look at what he's going through now. I'm not here to drag him through the mud, because I still love Will Smith, one of my favorite actors of all time. But look at what he's going through now because he didn't have control over his emotions. Chris Rock had control over his emotions, and look at where he's going now. It's only up from here on out for him. You feel me? So again, family, this is Gladiator School, Session 2. I hope you got something from it, because I was kind of all over the place a little bit today with two different things. If you like what you hear, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for all notifications, like and share your boy videos. I am Mr. Dominique, aka the Scorpio King, saying peace and one love. Stay blessed. I love you. Stay positive. Vibrations up. Seriously. Have control over your emotions. I love you, and I'm out.